There was a commotion over here. That was way easier than I think it should have been.
We're coming out for a sunset cruise and it looks like people are racing today. What do you think, Jason? You want to be out there racing with them?
We're Jason and Susie. In 2019, we bought Not Enough and learned how to sail her. After fixing up the boat, it was time for something bigger. While our new sailboat Envision has brought us new challenges, it also brings bigger adventures. We want to share those adventures with you, so join us as we have Adventures in Paradise. A few episodes ago, I got the new waste tank installed with all nice new fresh smelling hoses. I thought everything was done and I was finished with this whole project. See you never again, waste tank. Letting the toilet sit for a whole month meant some of the seals went bad. After replacing this base gasket, it still leaked from some other places, so I decided to remove the whole toilet and take it home for a complete rebuild. This gave me a chance to clean everything back here even better. The kit comes with a bunch of new seals and no instructions, so you just start taking things apart and go for it. I think this is the handle this guy before me replaced, and it actually looks pretty good. Looks like someone put like Vaseline in there or something. The bowl has a new seal on it. This will get another seal, even though I already replaced that once. These old screws, this is the whole reason I took this all apart, is that these old screws, you know, they fit in here and there's thread in there, but this one was stripped. When I over drilled this, I'm going to completely fill that, and then tomorrow I'll drill it. Well, it's the next morning and the epoxy in there has dried. Oh yeah, look at that. That feels good. If you can just afford a new toilet, this toilet's only $200, so you could literally, you could just buy the new toilet. Everything would be brand new on it. Otherwise, you're spending about $70 on the kit with all the new gaskets, and spending all this time. It doesn't really seem worth it to me, but I know it all adds up, and that's what's happened with me. Is like if I keep just going, oh, I'll just buy a new one. Well, you know, pretty soon you have a $30,000 boat that's worth $15,000. So when you put this in the lock position, so there's unlock, and then you can pump it, and then you push down and turn it, and it's locked. What that does is this bottom piece is then pressed against this and holds that shut, so water can't get into the bowl. By the way, if you notice this vintage camper behind me, if you ever want to see how this thing got made, I'll put a link in the description below. But some of you may have seen us rebuild this thing, but we had a YouTube channel and moved it somewhere else, so it's kind of obscure now. But I'll put a link if some of you never knew we did this and want to go see. You can go watch us back in the day doing all this. This has its own little toilet too. This thing should be ready to go back out to the boat. Alright, so I guess the problems keep mounting, but this was leaking when I would pump it. It never used to leak, and it leaked by the switch where you switch it between fresh and flush. You see that crack right there? Well, I got this all epoxied. Pulling some water in. I'm not seeing any leaking. Okay, I'm going to attach the toilet back to the base here, which is going to put a little extra stress on all this. But this hose just puts so much tension on this because it's, I think, a little bigger and not very flexible. It's like a rock, and it ends up making this joint leak when I tighten the toilet down. Because when the toilet goes on, this hose has to force down really hard because it's not very flexible. If I put it at the proper angle to fit the hose that it's at, then the toilet will just need to be moved over. So I cut the hose a little shorter, and now it seemed like the angle was right. So I put the new hose clamp on, and the toilet slid right on without torquing the joint. I was kind of panicking, but I'm feeling better now. So I marked and drilled the new mounting holes for the new toilet location. Alright, everything's hooked up. I got my everything tightened down, and I have some napkins in there which show me if there's any water leaking. So far, nothing, but it's only been a minute. You can see how far over the toilet moved. But now it's actually centered in here a little bit nicer, and it leaves us room for the wastebasket. I ordered a new lid to replace the cracked one, but now we're on to the next project. I have all my detailing supplies. Well, that's easier than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Oh, it's going pretty well. I have half the Envision taken off and some of the Venice, but down here it's really sticky. Here I'm using some Meguiar's paste oxidization remover, and I'm being careful to use a wet cloth afterwards to wipe it all off. I'm not just rinsing it into the marina. Big stain over here, gone from over here. So this stuff really does work really good. It's erasing the old letters too. You see that? There was a commotion over here. You can see it. I don't know if you'll see it in the camera, but it's raining really hard over there. It just missed us. Well, I don't say this very often, but that was way easier than I think it should have been, and looks way better than I thought it would. The next step was a fine cut cleaner on high-speed buffing pad to prepare it for the new sticker. So this is kind of cool because Susie and I are here, it's late, and we're getting the light all angled. We've been looking at this for like 20 minutes, and we see right here TWINKLE, a ferry on the moon. So at one time this boat was named Twinkle, and then after that there's a huge O and a P. Opalina is easy to see. So it was Opalina and it was Twinkle. Although I didn't record actually sticking the new name on, it wasn't so bad. I was just really careful and made sure to stick it on very carefully. After the sticker went on, I put Meguiar's show car glaze on with a high-speed buffer and then some Barrier Reef Carnauba wax. Just so I don't get 5 complaint comments, this electrical device was tethered with a rope and the cord tied up.
We're coming out for a sunset cruise, and it looks like people are racing today. What do you think, Jason? You want to be out there racing with them?
Sure, yeah, I'd like to try it if it's deep enough. I don't remember it being deep enough there. Why is
Must
this guy,
be.
look at this guy tacking.
They're out there.
Why is he doing that? He put the sail down.
We gotta be careful here. Yeah, he's putting a sail down,
No,
so he's going into the wind. Oh. Maybe his sail got tangled, I guess?
All right, well, this is our first sunset cruise since we moved into our new marina because we've just been so busy, and kind of really fun because all these sailboats, full size, like probably up to 20, 30 feet, maybe 28 feet, sailing out there in front of the marina, which boggles my mind because it seems too shallow there to sail right there. But maybe that line they're going in, but yeah, all 4 are racing, and I'm thinking like I kind of want to do that. That would be fun. Beautiful boat. Yeah, that's really nice.
Hydrofoils? Is that what those are called?
I think so.
I guess I haven't steered this boat in so long that I almost forgot how to do it. But I gotta start getting some practice in because we're gonna be going to the Keys sometime. I don't know soon, but we're definitely gonna go. I'm gonna have to take the helm.
All right, I'm gonna do a tack. Here we go.
Alright.
All 180 actually. Here we go. We're going to be downwind with the sail on the other side on the way back out of Broadreach. All right, here we go. I only have my gloves on because I'm going to put the anchor out. Come on, man. The wind died a little, so we're not speeding up. We need more than 0.8 to steer. We're just trying to get a little speed up to turn in to our anchorage. Now I think I feel a little breeze, so I'm going to start turning. 1.2. That's good. Better than it was. 1.1. We're getting up to the shallow spot here. It's getting more shallow. There's some junk on the bottom, so we're going to go ahead and tack and head into our anchorage. Close hauled right now. We're going to be at a beam reach once we tack. So I'll handle this lazy side and you'll get the working. Oh, that's going to be the working side. Okay, you ready?
Ready to tack.
Okay, tacking. Okay, I think we can take it in. Ready? Here it comes.
Go legal, strong matches 6. Talking for C on the 1. I see you on the 1.
Get 10 degrees port because I don't want it to fall off that long way. Okay,
Right, good trip out there.
okay, so now we're just drifting and a little more, just like that, yes?
Starboard side?
Just like that. You go ahead and steer us a little to the port. What is that, low water?
Yep, 1.4.
Oh wow. Yeah, steer us the other way a little more. There you go. Right about.
Calypso calling Majesty, Calypso calling Majesty.
I think Majesty is the boat we got married on.
Oh really? What about?
Yeah, and Calypso is the Calypso Queen over there in Clearwater.
Alright, we just dropped the anchor here at sunset. It's really pretty out here. Look at that. We're kind of by that fishing boat that we wanted to go on before. I think I saw a bird inside of it. So the anchor is going out this way, but the boat's still. So we're going to, as we anchored, we're rotating now with the wind. We're going to probably end up facing that way. Look at that. I mean, cheers.
Cheers.
Sorry you can't be here with us, but I'm glad you're not. Maybe that one Patreon we have, they could come along. There are two really nice moments on a sailboat, and that is when you really get sailing and you're moving along with the wind, and when you have moments like this where you're anchored at a sunset and there's nobody else around except you. Well, there's not much to see out here right now, but I can see my tracks, so I kind of know where I'm going. Headed back in. This will be the last time we're uncovering our powerboat because we're taking the cover off to make sure everything's inside for the buyer who's coming to pick it up. And it is sold and now it's gone. This is so we can make our dreams come true of owning a bigger and better boat and having bigger adventures in the future, so we hope you'll join us.